All right. Hey, everybody. It is Apple Keynote Day today, and we are going to talk about what Apple has announced and what to expect in terms of new releases. If we haven't met yet, I'm Dawn from Tech Savvy Creative, and I help creative entrepreneurs go from tech overwhelmed to tech empowered. And a big part of that is keeping you up to date with what is happening in the world of technology. Because whether or not you find yourself as somebody who is quote unquote tech savvy, or maybe you're somebody that's really intimidated by technology, these tools in our hands are important and they are a huge part of what we do. So it's important to keep up to date with them, understand what the differences are and how they are changing and how it's going to impact you as a creative. So, overall impression of today's keynote, kind of boring. I mean, I think the iPhone keynote can be pretty boring every year. This is not their most exciting keynote, especially coming off of an event like WWDC earlier this June where they announced Vision Pro and all of this other cool stuff. Today's keynote was a little bit meh, but there are a couple of good nuggets in here that we do want to talk about for sure. So the first announcement, Apple Watch. Apple Watch has got an upgrade to the Apple Watch Series 9 and also the Apple Watch Ultra 2. Now, both of these watches have a brand new S9 SIP, which is like their chip inside of the device. It's the thing that makes it run. It's very powerful. And because of that upgrade, the watch as a whole has gotten a pretty significant performance upgrade. So one of the more exciting features that both of these watches have gotten is a feature called Double Tap. So the Double Tap feature works by wearing your watch and you take your index finger and your thumb and you just tap them together. So this action right here will trigger things on your watch, which is pretty wild. Like I'm doing this and like, I don't know. It's really interesting, like how my watch can pick up that motion to perform actions. So in the video, they showed somebody answering their phone by double tapping, or they used their menu and scrolled through their menu by double tapping each time. There was also a situation where the person was like sleeping and then her alarm went off and she double tapped to snooze her alarm. So lots of cool and interesting things. So overall, pretty cool feature, but it's definitely a big step into the direction of the Vision Pro, which is expected, down the line. A couple of other small but mighty features in the Apple Watch Series 9 is a better and brighter screen. When you're outside, it's easier to see the screen because it's twice as bright as the current screen on the Series 8. It also dims much, much, much dimmer than the current screen. So in low light settings, whether it's a movie theater or you're in bed, it keeps that screen really dim. So nice feature for sure. Another feature they talked about was on-device Siri and actions for your health, which is really cool because when I think of my Apple Watch, it is definitely the device I use for health purposes the most. But now with on-device Siri, I can say, hey, all my devices just turned on. Hold on. Oh my gosh. So for example, because it has reference to your health data now, I can say, hey, how did I sleep last night? And it will give me that data directly on my watch. So again, as something that I use for tracking my data and my health very frequently, being able to access that data even more easily is a really nice to have feature. Also, thanks to the S9 SIP, there are new features in terms of precision tracking. So right now I can go to my watch and I can have it ping my iPhone for me. But with the Series 9 and the Ultra 2 watch, I am able to turn on precision tracking and it will give me that arrow with that direction and how many feet I am away from my device. So I can find exactly where that device is if I can't hear it. Last but not least, the Apple Watch SE and the Series 9 comes in pink. Moving on to iPhone. Apple has announced that its iPhone 15 models, as well as AirPod Pros and the traditional earbuds with the actual cords, will be USB-C ports on the bottom. Thank goodness. I'm in this weird middle section right now where I have a MacBook Pro and an iPad Air that both use USB-C. And then my iPhone and my AirPods and other devices are using Lightning still. So I have to remember what device I'm bringing and what cord I need to bring. So finally getting rid of Lightning is going to be wonderful. Now it's going to be a little painful at first because let's think about it, guys. How many lightning cables do you have laying around your house? Because I have a lot of them. I think Apple having a recycling program for these cables would be very beneficial if they already don't. I should probably look that up after I am done recording this. Okay, so iPhone 15. Now, the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus got some pretty snazzy updates today. They now have color-infused glass, and I personally really like the colors of the iPhone 15s. They have a very beautiful pastel tone, and they come in pink, yellow, green, blue, and black. Now, these iPhones have better displays, and they're brighter than ever before, and for the first time in a non-Pro model, you now have the dynamic island on the iPhone 15. The iPhone 15 uses the A16 chip, giving it better performance and giving it access to more powerful tools than ever before, including, which they spent a lot of time talking about, the cameras. Now, the iPhone 15 camera was pretty impressive. They included some new features like a 48 megapixel camera and 2x optical zoom, which is really nice for a non-Pro model device. They also introduced the ability for the phone to use machine learning to decide if there's a person in that photo. And if it does detect a person inside of that photo, it'll automatically take the photo using its portrait mode. That way you don't have to switch back and forth or whatever. And then that allows you to edit the photo a little differently. It allows you to change your focus on the photo after the photo has been taken, and just gives you access to a lot of very powerful portrait photography type features in the phone. That chip also enables things like precision finding for your friends, which is a very interesting feature and kind of really creepy if you think about it. But if you're somewhere like in a big crowd of people and you're really trying to find a friend, you can use your Find My app and your precision, and it'll basically give you that arrow and point you in the direction to find your friend. So I could definitely see uses for it, but also just kind of like a little weird. Apple has also introduced roadside assistance using AAA built into the phone. So if you are somewhere where there's no signal, it uses that satellite technology to call roadside assistance and get you help wherever you are. Last but not least, the iPhone 15 has USB-C. I know we already mentioned that, but want to mention it again because it was probably the biggest news that we received. Okay, last but not least, the iPhone 15 Pro. And also the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now, this version of the iPhone is different than its previous versions because it is utilizing a lighter and more durable version of its housing, which is now titanium instead of aluminum. Now, when they pair that with their ceramic shield glass on the front, it makes it the most durable iPhone ever. So if you are somebody that drops your phone, or if you have toddlers like I do and the phone just ends up in random places, this is great news for you because it's just gonna protect it a little bit more than normal. The iPhone 15 Pro comes in black titanium, white titanium, blue titanium, and natural titanium. So the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max introduces the A17 Bionic chip. Now, again, this just means it's more powerful and they can do new things that it couldn't do previously. Now, the iPhone 15 Pro does introduce something new, which is called the action button. So basically what they've done is they've taken that silent switcher on the left side of your phone and they've replaced it with a button. Now, this button can still be used to silence your phone, but you can also change what it does. So whether that's setting an alarm or opening up a voice note or what other action or shortcut you want it to be, you can set that action button to do exactly what you want it to do. So the iPhone 15 Pro has gotten some camera upgrades as well. And I'm somebody that actually uses my iPhone a lot for content. It's in my pocket, it's readily available, and it's easy, and it creates beautiful output. Why wouldn't I use it? I've actually recorded entire courses on my iPhone 14 Pro, and they're great. I love them. So big fan of this. So when Apple today announced new upgrades to its camera system, I was ready. And there are a couple things in here that I am very jealous that I will not have on my iPhone 14. So the first thing that you can do is you can choose a default lens setting. So if there's a certain lens, like if you go to the portrait section and you want to open it to the 2x zoom or whatever, you can set what the default is so it opens to that every single time. Tiny but mighty feature for sure. Now, here's the feature that I am absolutely loving. And as somebody who records video content, this is huge. On the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, you can now directly record your video content to external storage. Now, remember, your phone has a USB-C now. So all of these external SSD drives that we use every single day as creatives can now be plugged in directly to the phone with no adapter, and you can record that content directly to that external drive, keeping that content off of the phone. That is amazing. Not only for storage purposes, but also just to keep things nice and organized as well. The Pro camera system in the iPhone 15 Pro now gives you the ability to choose lenses from macro level all the way to 120 millimeters if you are using an iPhone 15 Pro Max. That is a really powerful range for such a small and portable device. Now, Apple has also announced that spatial video recording will be coming to the iPhone 15 Pro later on. This will give us the ability to record 3D videos that we can enjoy when we have the Vision Pro available to us. The iPhone 15 Pro also includes precision finding, so I can find my friends when I need to, and also roadside assistance via satellite, and most importantly, it has USB-C. Now, in today's event, there was also a very long skit talking all about its carbon neutrality and their goals and all of that stuff. And it was kind of a silly way to give us a ton of information and data that wasn't like a boring keynote. So very interesting. Go check it out. It was a meeting with Mother Nature and all of that good stuff. But Apple definitely wants it to be known that they are working extremely hard to be completely carbon zero by 2030. And since taking that commitment, they have already decreased their carbon footprint by 78%, which is really impressive. So Apple really big on the environment and just making sure it's making its products in a way that is great for our world. So if you want more information on that, definitely watch the full event and get all of those details. Okay, that's today's event. Now, if you want more information, definitely check out Apple's website or go watch the event yourself. It is available on YouTube, on Apple TV, pretty much anywhere. If you see a really cool Apple that's like blowing away, that's your event from today. So go check it out for yourself. Let me know in the comments below what you're interested in. Is there anything that you're buying? Do you like these new updates? Or are they kind of lame? Let me know what you think. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. Again, I'm Dawn from Tech Savvy Creative, and I would love it if you subscribe to our channel. I am here to bring you tech news and tech updates and show you how you can use technology in your life to make your life and your work easier than ever before. See you guys next time.